Fixin' to Ride.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fixin' a Ride. Andrew here again, back with another repair video. We're going to be working on a Mikuni 64 liter per hour dual output pulse operated fuel pump. So this is actually off my 700. It's the 95 ZR700. It's supposed to have two pumps at 31 liters per hour, but once I figured out, I'm not sure if you guys saw the video, but once I figured out that it was going lean because it only had a 31 liter per hour pump on there, I picked up the 64 liter per hour pump. So it's been showing symptoms, and I'll talk about those symptoms. But first, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the alert bell. Then we can come on back, check out what we got going on. Don't forget to smash the like button. Always appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get into what we're dealing with. All right, so this is the pump right here. As you can see, it's a little used. It's been on there for a while, but I think the biggest part is that I didn't really run the sled much for a few years because I was rebuilding it and doing all kinds of other stuff. So either way, it's been showing signs, and it's definitely in desperate need to be rebuilt. So I got a genuine Mikuni rebuild pump here. It's MKDF62 fuel pump rebuild kit. So what the symptoms were, though, is first and foremost, I started experiencing fuel leaking into the crankcase. And so, well, I didn't know what it was at first. And then once I finally figured it out, I was like, okay, the pulse line right here was obviously allowing fuel to back up into the crankcase. And so if I didn't shut the valve off on the sled, it would completely flood the crankcase enough to where I couldn't start it. I had to take the plugs out, pull it over 1 billion times, and then put the plugs in. And then I'd have to pull it over with the throttle wide open. So that was the first sign. The second sign was I've taken it out every time we've gone up north, and we've gone up 4 times, getting ready to go up the 5th time. So I'm doing this before. So I have been trying to get it to wind all the way out on its RPMs. It's supposed to get up to like 7,800 or 8,000 RPMs, right around there. Well, it's got D&D dual pipes on it as well, and can. So, you know, it's supposed to have extra fuel. 420s are stock mains. And I initially, when I rebuilt the engine, I was able to put 410s in there and like 35 pilots. Thing was running nice and crisp. Never had a problem before. So when I took it out this year, I was like, what the heck is going on? I had 410s in there. And then I put 420s and then 430s. And gradually it would allow me to get up higher, but still not reach the full RPM. So I got 440s in there right now. So when I first take off, the clutch, you know, it engages at 4,000 RPMs or whatever. And then if I hold it, it'll zoom up to like 8,000 RPMs, and then it'll kick down and go blah, 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 and like act like it's running out of fuel or something. So that, once I figured it out, I think I was going through the manual or something, and I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, if it's not getting enough, if the fuel pump is going, it's not providing enough pressure at higher RPMs, then for sure, you know, it's not going to be able to hit its max RPM. So that's when I decided, okay, that's the second sign that this fuel pump needs to be rebuilt. So, all right, so we're back here at the bench. Got all the gaskets out, the new rebuild kit. The kit came with a guide to tell you what is what. So you got your screws, obviously, cover. You got your gaskets. You got your upper diaphragm. Got the grommet assemblies, which are basically your check valves. And then more gaskets, diaphragm, and the bottom assembly, and your pump assembly. So we're going to go ahead and disassemble all this and see what we're working with, and get this thing cleaned up, slap back together, put it in the 700. All right, so as far as tools go, just got a Phillips screwdriver. I got a skinny flathead, and then a pick, and then obviously some carbon choke cleaner, compressed air. Okay, so that went at the top. Always want to take note of orientation. Gaskets. Don't cringe, here comes the razor blade. Don't mind the dipstick dogs next door. Oh yeah, look at that. Some nice crud. Well, that's why you got the compressed air, so. It's funny because these don't look like they have, anyone that I've rebuilt a few of them, and any one of these that I've rebuilt, it doesn't look like they have any sort of like hole in the diaphragm. But it doesn't need to be much. And here's the indicator. This is the pulse pump port. Well, there's fuel on here. So it definitely needed a rebuild. Pretty amazing little design that these can pump so much fuel. They're so small, yet they pump so much fuel. And they make that engine and whole system propel you 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour or more. But I haven't done that. Naughty. So, doesn't look like there's much crud on here. Probably wouldn't hurt to clean this surface up. Yeah, this 700 should be a rocket now. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't think of this earlier, but hey, better late than never, right, folks? When you're using this razor blade here, you want to make sure that you're not gashing into the mating surface. So you got 2 check valves here. You know, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people have done this. A lot of guys are probably, you know, looking at this and going, oh yeah, I remember those days. But, you know, there's always young kids getting into this stuff. So, being able to provide a decent walkthrough video form is essential, I think. A lot of people don't, I've said this before, a lot of people don't even have anyone to guide them through anything like this. All right, so your best bet is to just remove these one at a time. And the check valves, well, I don't know if putting a little bit of grease on here may be a little better. Just be careful and keep pressure on the back side. Should go right in. Definitely a neat little design. This one will be a little tighter. Just make sure all these surfaces are clean. All right, I think we're good to go here. Down at the bottom. So it goes gasket, diaphragm, gasket. And these gaskets are the ones without the tabs. And then we have the center body with the deepest cavities pointed up. And the main line is going to be on your right. And then it goes gasket with a tab up. And these aren't oriented either way, so. And we have another diaphragm and another gasket. And then our top portion. Okay, so now that we have it like that, I think what I'm going to do is the order here might be a little better if we just flip all this upside down. That way we can slip it all over the screws. Let's see how that works. That way there's no wrecking of gaskets or damaging anything as we're putting it back together. Once we get this piece on here, it should be good to go. And it does look like it gives a torque. Let me clean these threads out. Tell they just use spray paint. Maybe I'll hit this with some racer green one day. So the tightening torques. So it says 44 inch-pounds or 30 kilograms per centimeter or 2.9 newton meters. And so the newton meter, the inch-pounds is plus or minus 15 inch-pounds, and the kilogram centimeters is plus or minus 10, and then newton meters is plus or minus 0.98. So if you take 44 and divide it by 12, it's only like 3.5. You could probably go 4 inch-pounds or 4 foot-pounds, or you could just snug them up. Rule of thumb is twist them until they seem like they're providing a lot of resistance back towards you. So this is just twisting it by hand. I'm not cranking it real hard. I'm just making it tight. I would think that most guys wouldn't be able to even crank a screw past its torque. A screw this size. You'd have to get like an impact with a Phillips bit on there or something. Feels good to me. All right, so that's all the parts. You have 4 gaskets and 2 diaphragms, and then 2 check valves. So we'll get these in the garbage. All right, so that's it on that. Let's go put this thing on the 700. right, that's it, folks. Thanks for sticking around. If you guys got any questions about the pump rebuilds, anything like that, just let me know. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the alert bell. That way you can come on back, check out what we got going on. Always doing something here. Don't forget to smash the like button. Always appreciate that. You guys stay safe. We got some more content on the way for sure. It's definitely springtime here in the Lower Peninsula, so we're in southern Lower Peninsula, so we got robins floating around, grass is starting to grow, flowers popping up. So you guys take care. God bless. We'll see you in the next video.